Hey, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well on this Sunday evening. Just, I've been meaning let me try that again. I've been meaning to touch base with you guys earlier, or it had been my idea, my thought process to do that a couple days ago. I was advised that somebody else would not be here until Thursday. Then they showed up yesterday, really disrupted my plans. And basically, I wanted to do basically like a Sunday night or Sunday. Woo! G might be so tired. G might be so tired. He needs some rest. He needs some bedtime. But anyway, literally, like I wanted to do like about a 1:30 p.m. live, kind of like in reference to tacos again for you know Taco Tuesday, and I had all the ingredients and just just nothing's working right in my life right now. But here we are. I'm killing some time and uh, trying to reach out to some friends, and it is so freaking. I'm out here on the lanai, which is my office, my studio, and it is so damn muggy. It is currently. This is 6:32 at night. It's 92 degrees Fahrenheit and probably 100 degrees with the heat index. It's like literally like if you get up to go to the bathroom, it's like walking through a cloud of like just thickness. It just sucks. Um, but hey, Melinda, appreciate you popping in. So basically, I normally when I do these lives lately, I try to be more choreographed, and I'm not. I'm just kind of winging it today. Like I said, power of attorney wasn't going to show up until Thursday. Then he showed up yesterday, and so it's like kind of like I'm just being totally honest here. I I was so excited to finally have some G Money time to myself with no no mother because she's in the hospital with her medical injury, and then no other. I was just like, I needed to totally decompress, and that did not happen. I'm like, oh my lord, like you always hear me talk about the curse. So I'm like, just all I need is some tranquility. Just let me have me time, and it never seems to happen. And he just left like hour and 30 minutes ago, whatever it was, hour. And I'm like, well, that's, I'm thinking to me, like, call me greedy or whatever, like, well, that's great. Like, now I got to work for 4 days. So, like, I had no me time, literally no me time. And it's hard, man. It's so freaking hard. Anybody who's not in the loop, hey, Josh, how are you doing, brother? Anybody who's not in the loop, my mother last Friday night into Saturday morning, basically it was 01:30 hours. Saturday, fell and broke her hip, had some other issues, and life's just been total chaos since then. And then I had to go to work and work all day Sunday, and which was very difficult on lack of sleep, due to lack of sleep. And it just like, man, it's like, Josh is saying he has to go to a parent teacher meeting. Oh, with your kids, they're probably going to be a long meeting, very long meeting. Yo. Yeah, Josh, your kids, they're going to be a problem, especially one dropping the pump or the watermelons. They need to really straighten that one out real quick. But in all seriousness, I really miss talking to the people, and I really miss being choreographed and where I can actually have a script. I will tell you a couple things off the top of my head. Uh, I've talked a little bit about podcasts recently in my videos. Melinda says you need to get some rest. I don't know if she's talking to me or Josh, but I'm assuming she's talking to me. Yeah, I'm so damn tired. I'm literally like whipped. I'm hoping by like 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be sawing logs, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've been doing some research about you know podcasts and Melinda's like always busting my nuggets. Yes, you, Gary. Like you look like a. She didn't say this, but I can infer. You look like a slapped ass. She's probably thinking, yeah, I feel like a slapped ass too. But anyway, I'm trying to get onto the podcast conversation, Melinda. Thank you, Dan, for tuning in from the Droning Veteran. Appreciate it. But it, I, like I'm really working hard behind the scenes to learn more about podcasting, proper podcasting, and basically, I've said this for like months now. Basically, you have to have a good, quiet studio, a good setup, good backdrop to do that. And I currently don't have that. I mean, everybody knows that, and I don't have the funds to make supplemental arrangements, which really pisses me off because I think I have something really, really high quality on the horizon, but like I kind of have an anchor around my ankle. I'm trying to deal with it, right? But when this guy Chase I just did a video mentioning him in the video. He wasn't like actually the main. He depends how you look at it. Chase, San Carlos Park resident where I used to live, and he what he did was I thought was super cool, super original. To me, it was original. I'd never heard of him, and he went to the Facebook community page for San Carlos Park and just basically talked to people and said like, hey, I want to start up a YouTube podcast, and if anybody's interested, tell me your story or something like that. And all of a sudden, it like then me being Mr. Inquisitive, I went in and did some research. Right, I'm like, all right, you know. So then I did check, and this guy did already have an existing YouTube page, but he wanted to convert it to like basically a podcast. And then he did his podcast. His podcast was really, really cool. When I say really cool, because it was so genuine from the heart, and it was very. I've already said this previously. Very raw, but I have no problems with it because I'm a big boy. I can deal with that. There goes the phone again. Every time I do a freaking video, the phone rings. But yeah, I mean, like I'm used to like street lingo. I was a football coach. I grew up basically, like in the suburban ghetto. So like stuff like that doesn't bother me. No, it's like I almost respect people more when they're speaking from the heart than them trying to sugarcoat things. But so he told his story, and there was a little bit of profanity, but no big deal to me. It's like it's all good. But his story was like home run. The reason I'm repeating this story is because I thought this young man did an outstanding job, and his introductory video was spot on based on his significant other's suggestion. So this is going to sound redundant to anybody who's already watched this, and I understand that. Anybody who's new and has not seen that video where I talked about podcasts, I'm just going to clue you in real quickly, and then we're going to try and talk about some other things. But he, based on his post on that Facebook community page for San Carlos Park, Florida, he had a tremendous response. Like 12 to 15 people responded and wanted to be on his podcast and be interviewed as guest. And I thought that was really cool, really cool. And then he did his he was doing his introductory podcast, and his girlfriend, wife, I think it's wife. I don't want to misspeak, but lady named Emma said, "Hey, man, you're kind of like doing this all wrong. You can't all ask all these 12 to 15 people come and tell their story when you haven't even told your own story." So, so he did that. His first video was like Babe Ruth grand slam, boom, knocked it out of the park. He told his story. He told it genuine and raw, and he nailed it. So, so when you get a chance, I will screw this up. I know I'm going to screw this up. Twisted and Tested podcast, I think it is, or Tested and Twisted podcast. I'm sorry, Chase, brother. Just, when you get this old, sometimes you have mental malfunctions. I think it's Twisted and Tested podcast. But he did a really good job. And I've seen some other things like after his podcast that, like, I'm definitely not like a YouTube expert by any means. I know how to get in front of a microphone and just run my mouth. And did I say microphone or microphone? I meant to say microphone. I didn't mean to say foam, like drooling like Cujo or anything like that. But yeah, anyway, so just some crazy stuff's happening. Like I said, my mom fell, broke her hip, and all the struggles dealing with that stuff. Like, it's never ending. The mental health, the physical health problems, and it was cool to see Chase do his thing. I felt like I was contributing, and when I shared a little bit of information about the podcast, I included him. I felt like I was contributing to the YouTube world. We're all, in my opinion, we're all supposed to uplift each other and try and do good things for each other. So Chase has really had a lot of struggles in life, but he's working out of it, and he's heading in a upward direction. I think that's badass. That's just badass. So now, like, I wanted, there was a couple things I wanted to do today, and I went out yesterday and I purchased a bunch of products to do a recipe, which is my seafood salad recipe that I think is really good, really good. And I thought about, you know what, I need to donate a portion of this to FK Your Diet. And for anybody who's not familiar, FK Your Diet stands for Foster Kid Your Diet. And they're nonstop giving to the community, foster kids. Excuse me. Right now they're on a real big drive where they're just literally emptying their bank accounts to give kids school supplies. There's so much stuff. So when you get a chance, go over to their Facebook page, FK Your Diet, and just watch what they do. It just blows my mind. What they do is what I would love to do for people, for human beings. Maybe not in the exact manner, but basically we're all in the same. We have the same vibes. They have the financial ability. Yes, they get a ton of donations, and they can do that. Like right now, I can't even get my, it's I almost said something. I almost spoke a mishap there, but it's very difficult right now. Very difficult for me right now to maintain my, sustain my lifestyle. I shouldn't. Lifestyle sounds like I live some like glamorous life, but I have three major bills coming up in the next 3 weeks that are like ridiculous. Like, I can live on ice cubes. And Keyshawn Johnson once said something on. I really don't like Keyshawn Johnson as a commentator or as a host on ESPN, but he did say something funny one time. I did laugh because growing up poor, I could understand. He said he used to, what did he call it? Hope sandwiches or wish sandwiches or something like that, where you put two pieces of bread together and you wish there was a piece of meat in between it or something like that. And I did laugh my ass off. I was driving down the road. I was like, damn, you like Keyshawn and we grew up in the same house. It was too damn funny, but or pretty sure he called it a wish sandwich. So every once in a while, my mom asks me at her mental capacity, like she's asked me a couple times recently, and I probably shouldn't do this because she does not comprehend. But she says, what are you eating tonight?" And I said, "Ice cubes and a wish sandwich." She's like, "What?" And she just never understands. But like it was kind of my release, I never did ever try to explain to her because she has no golly comprehension of who the hell Keyshawn Johnson is, or But that's just my sick, warped sense of humor. But anyway, so yeah, so like going forward, like I have 4 very long days ahead of me. I get up at 4 in the morning. I have to be at work by 6, and I leave there uh, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and it takes me a long time to get home. Usually, I don't get home until like 5:30 at earliest, depending on what traffic's doing. And right now, we're in the off season, and there's been certain days where it's like, oh my god, you would think like is this are we in season because the traffic is crazy. If I continue to work there in during season, it is probably in the afternoons or whatever, it's probably going to take me 2.5 hours to get home. I'm not feeling that. I want to work and contribute, but if I got to do all that and then plus pay a $5 toll and Bidenomics, the gas prices are crazy. So, um, Melinda says, me too. Also ate surprise stew. Someone gave me veggies out of their garden. Surprised me. No meat. Yeah, like it is the truth, man. My mom used to get so pissed off whenever I remind her, like, hey, we grew up poor, we were on welfare. Then she would like off to the moon. She would flip out. And I was like, no, mom, I'm telling you, I'm trying to talk to her like in a positive. This is before she had dementia, but like maybe this was like the early stages. Who knows? But we're talking like 40 years ago. And I would tell her, I was like, hey, I kind of appreciate us being on welfare because now you appreciate, things more and stuff like that. And then we used to have those, like I talked in another video or two about uh, all my friends had the high C uh, drinks, the big can, and now we had the little generic, silver one from the welfare department. That was, I would always tell my friends, no, it's the same thing, and then they would just look, or like pretty much the only thing I could offer my friends was that generic high C and the 5 pound or 7 pound blocks of cheese they would. And I was like, well, I can make you a grilled cheese. That's all I was taught. That's all I knew. And it sucks, growing up poor. When you feel like I'm trying to read Ken's statement here, and I'm like, I'm not trying to like avoid anybody, but it says, I made a lot of Friday egg sandwiches when I was a kid. I'm not sure what a Friday egg sandwich is, but sounds like a wish sandwich, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, you know what a Friday? Oh, he's now saying fried egg sandwich. Yeah, fried. Okay, and now I understand. I thought he was saying like Friday, like till he gets to payday or something. I wasn't really sure what he was saying, but Ken's a cool dude. I now right now as I'm looking at some of these people and I literally have not communicated with a lot of channels just because stuff going on with my mom, power of attorney in town, and he brought his dog, and it's literally like there is zero rest in my world, and like some of the channels I feel like I'm neglecting would be like Rita, Rita's Roost, and Ken. At least I touched in every once in a while with him. I haven't done that in a long time. I feel like a turd, and just so many other people, and that's why I'm kind of like on here. Once again, I said it's not choreographed or scripted, but please, anybody that's out there that I normally communicate with, I'm very sorry. Like even like at Full Blown Country, or excuse me, Full Blown. I did get a dig into Pooch because I always find time to get a dig into Pooch and shoot him a jab. But I will tell you, at No Judgment Here with Tish Ross did a really really nice live last night. I did not watch it live. I watched it like periodically throughout the day. It probably took me like 5 hours to watch their live with our what's it called, our our homeland, or not our homeland, something like that. It's the two brothers that were uh, separated at birth, basically, and that was really interesting. It was really interesting. I had already heard their story. I had watched it like a long time ago, but watching it how it was presented was so like over the top. It's like just really really good. Everything that Tish Ross does on her platform at No Judgment Here with Tish Ross is always like top notch. But like when I was trying to stay awake last night, like literally by like I think she started early last night, like 7:30. I was literally by like 7:15, my eyes were closing. I was like, poof. I knew I couldn't stay up and watch, and I had a feeling it was going to be a longer segment, and it was, but it was definitely top notch, definitely top notch. So if anybody has anything they want to contribute in the comments or anything like that, it's always nice to see like Shade Tree America in here, all these other channels, and like once again, I did not give anybody a lot of advance notice because I had no idea I could do this because my life is just I never know what's transpiring around me, so I just did it so I could do it. I wanted to do it about, you know, 4 or 5 hours ago. And if I had done it then, it would have been more choreographed and probably a little more structure and probably like mention a few more things. But hey, it is what it is. And, like there's a lot of cool channels out there like Shade Tree America. That's Chris. He's living up there in PA. He's doing his thing. Ken does his thing. There's so many good channels out there. Like I am so addicted to YouTube. Like somebody probably should send me to like YouTube Rehab because it's crazy. It's like that's all I want to do. That's the only thing that brings me happiness in life is YouTube. And it's I would if you asked me a year and a half ago, nope. Just give me ESPN 24/7, and I'm good to go. I haven't even watched TV for like a year. I've very almost a year. To be a little bit of a lie, it'd probably be 8 or 9 months. So Ken has a question. He says, "How's your mom, Gary? Is she in the hospital?" I know she took a fall. Maybe I missed an update. Yeah, Ken, on Friday night into Saturday morning, she did take a fall. And it's sad that occurred. It's crazy. Like, we're doing everything in our power not to send her to a home. And hello, thank you. Just doing our best. We'd love to see you, and everybody likes to see you too. But so what happened was, I I did not discover my mother until approximately like 1:30 in the morning. I was sleeping in, the redheaded stepchild bedroom, and then I heard yelling and screaming. I heard my name mentioned, shouted out several times. I did get up, and I talked to her, addressed her. I told her, I know you're here. I tried to move her a little bit. I knew she was in a lot of pain. So I realized the best thing for the entire situation was to literally get a witness, which would be the power of attorney who's in the other room. I did do a little bit of a video on this, but in case anybody hasn't watched it, I will repeat it. And I open up his bedroom door, and I'm yelling, "Hey, get up!" He's laying there. He's not moving. I'm like, "Hey, get up!" He's not moving. I yell for the third time, "Hey, get up!" He's not moving. So now, like, my brain is thinking, like, "Oh man, I'm in like deep crap because I have an elderly person laying on the floor injured and possibly a dead body in this bed." I'm like, "Oh, how the hell am I going to explain this?" And I scream one more time, louder. I don't know how I could even get louder than the first. And then he pops up. I'm like, "Get your ass out of bed. We got a problem. Mom fell." So when he finally secured his dog, his service dog in the crate, came out. Once I had a witness, I did lift her up. I attempted to move her to the bed. I realized that was higher elevation. She was screaming, so I moved her to the lower level chair that was to the right. Put her in the chair. Then we called the paramedics, and the rest is history. Pretty much, she's been at the Naples Community Hospital ever since. I Power of attorney seems to think she's going to come home in like a month or so. I personally don't think so. There's no way. After her last fall with just broken ribs, now she has a broken hip with a metal rod in it. And I doubt she's coming home. I really do. And maybe he's trying to stay upbeat and positive, or trying to inspire me, or blow smoke up my ass or whatever. But I'm smart enough to know when senior citizens of that age, she's almost 90. She's going to be 90 in December. When you fall and break your hip, there's a good chance, clotting, and, they have special apparatuses on her leg now to try and prevent that. Basically, it's like I did see the apparatus. The only thing I can describe it as, it's like it diffuses any type of clots that would perhaps like go up. Sometimes when those clots occur, people have strokes, but hey, life is what it is, right? That's what they keep telling us. And every day, like, I don't know if it's just pure exhaustion or whatever. I often wonder, like, I've already said this like in previous videos, but man, I'm thinking like, oh shit, please tell me I'm not getting early onsets of dementia, because sometimes, like, I'm praying and hoping it's just like physical exhaustion and just too much stress. But at times I think, like, man, like, oh, this sucks. Like, please, especially at my age, like, I'm 61. My dad, I shouldn't even call him my dad, but my biological father, he died at 61. But he was smoking and doing all kinds of stupid stuff. He didn't do drugs or anything, but he smoked like 4 packs a day, 3 or 4 packs a day. And I don't do any of that. I do like to enjoy some beer. Hello, Jamie. By the way, I did, man, like I said, once again, dementia's kicking in. Today is Mr. Nick Conway's birthday. That would be at Multi Hunter 24/7. and Jamie's here to represent his birthday party, and she's going to disperse a one slice of cake to every viewer in here, and all you have to do is just send her your address, your mailing address, and Jamie's going to take care of that, and we're all going to be hooked up with some type of melted cake from Nick Conway. Nick Conway's a cool dude. I like the guy. He's really different. Like he's when I say he's different, I mean like when he's different, he's like I've never seen it. A lot of Texans are very chill, but Nick is like so chill. And he grows up around all these crazy young ladies. I'm like, dude, like what is your secret sauce? How that is just blows my mind. But Nick's a good dude. I just sent him a video in private through an email that I wanted him to follow a channel if he was not already uh, watching that. It's Kendall Frederick. People call him K Fred, and he's straight up good channel. Kendall Frederick has a badass channel. Like he is probably my best channel. He does a lot of fishing stuff, and every video I've seen, with the exception of the one I sent to Nick, was at the end of every video. He always has a big throwdown with his friends and community, and he's feeding people. Usually, it's a lot of fishing, like rewards like crappie or whatever it is, and stuff like that. Or he's like they're eating alligator or just all the bounties from the bayou, basically. And anyway, it was so I sent him that, and when he replied, like he basically was not really familiar with. I forget how he phrased it, but if I understood it correctly, he was not really familiar with Kendall Frederick, and it made me feel like I was doing something for a good outdoorsman because those two have so much in common. And the video I shared to him had to do with basically hog hunting and hog harvesting and preparation, and so it made me feel good. Like I felt like I, I don't I don't feel like I've contributed enough back to YouTube channels lately, but Nick is a good friend, so I wanted to try and do something for him to let him know, hey, brother, I'm thinking about you. And I had no idea today was his birthday. I think I did that yesterday, and he did reply, and it made me feel good. So anybody, if you want to do a special video, sing him happy birthday or anything like that, Nick would be appreciative. Uh, cool dude, really cool Texan. I'm a Yankee. I mean, I love Texans, but man, he's over the top Texan. He's just chill, cool. He doesn't really have a whole lot of hatred for Yankees because I haven't really crossed the state line, the Texas state line. I imagine once I do, then all of a sudden I'm gonna be considered like a damn Yankee. But Nick's a cool dude. His family's really cool people. They're really good parents, really good parents. They just recently had some struggles with some violent storms, and trust me, I know a little bit about some violent storms and hurricanes, and uh, but I think I've rambled long enough. It's 7:04. Matter of fact, I think some people may be kicking off their videos at 7. It's 7:04 Eastern Standard Time, so I probably should shut the hell up and let people go about their evening. And just I just want to say hi, everybody. I do appreciate the YouTube followers, and stuff like that. It's just I wish I had more to contribute. I really wanted to sit down with some tacos earlier in the day. It just did not pan out that way. It had all the ingredient. It's just like a Taco Tuesday talk type thing. It just nothing ever goes to plan in my life. But I love you guys, and remember, when you get a chance, say hi to a stranger, take care of a veteran. We're all, we should all be about helping others. And one more thing, you get a chance, try and contribute to Reese Across America. If you're not familiar with that, go to at JJ Drones and you can learn more about that. Great cause. Thank you, folks. I love you guys, man. I truly love talking to you guys. Even when I'm like feeling like a slapped ass, I love talking to you guys.